All right. Wonderful. I am so honored to be here, and I'm so happy that you took the time for yourself as well and carved out some time to create this evening. I love all the hellos and the first time people that they're saying this is their first time experiencing this, and I also welcome those of you who have come back to experience it again because it is a lot of fun. And I feel that every time that we do this, we always learn something new about ourselves. So we're going to go ahead and get started here. So for day one, if you are looking to feel more energized, that you're looking for a community, you're looking for a connection, if you're looking for healing, if you're trying to get unstuck, if you want to learn some new techniques, if you want self-discovery, you want to know about art therapy, maybe you just want to revamp your life. Yes to all of that, if anything is resonating with you. You're looking for some new coping skills, you want to fill your own cup, do you want mental clarity? Yes. Okay, cool. Then you are in the right place. I love that you're putting what you came here for. That's awesome. I'd love to know why you're here. All of the above. Beautiful. Because this is why I do this. If you got to watch a little bit of that video that we just played, it really warmed my heart. I had a little bit of some tears coming because these opportunities that I do really just lifts me up, and I just want to lift other people up. So I am so honored to do this. So let's get started and start talking a little bit about the rules and what this is all about so that you can have an idea of how everything is going to play out tonight and for the next 3 days. First thing we're going to be doing is talk about our rules. Okay, so for our rules, there is no judgment. So please leave that behind. There is no good, there's no bad. When we make our art tonight, just allow it to be expressive. This is all about the process, okay? We're here to support each other. So if you have the opportunity to put your camera on, I love seeing your beautiful faces. It makes me happy. So if you can do that, that would be awesome. And turn off any distractions. So if you happen to have Facebook or Instagram or whatever, anything like that, just go ahead and mute it. Okay, I have a lot of questions about replays, like if you can't make every night. So I wanted to go ahead and address that. It is awesome for you to be here live, to be in the energy. Wow, we're with like 740 people right now, which is amazing. So we're sharing the love, but if you can't make it live, it's okay. There will be replays. So you're welcome to subscribe to my YouTube channel. It's my name, Leah Guzman. It's also at Art Therapy Online. And you're gonna find the replays there. I usually post them right after this, okay? And then we send them out in an email. So other things that we're going to be doing is you might be asking, what are the art materials? What do you need to get together? So you might already have some stuff, but I'm going to go ahead and show you what I have. I have my art journal. So for those of you who got the VIP, you're getting this really cool art journal. I love it because it holds paint, and I like to use a lot of oil pastels. So it's really like heavy duty paper, which is nice. I like to use oil pastels if you have them. They're more expressive than just pencils. And then I have markers, okay? If you are a more experienced artist and you want to use paint in this process, you're welcome to do that. We're going to do mostly painting on Thursday and Friday. So for today, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, we are going to be just using more drawing media, okay? And I'm going to teach you some techniques that you can use. So if you are a first-time artist, that's okay. As long as you're open to be expressive, you're in the right place, okay? So I'm going to teach you some techniques with that. If you don't happen to have a journal, you can have a piece of paper. This is just copy paper, and you can pretend it's a journal. You could literally fold it in half. You might have ordered your journal and it might not have gotten to you yet. That happens. You can actually fold your paper and it will actually fit. You could fit it inside of here and tape it in, and it looks just like one of the pages in here. Okay, a little technique for you. But this is what we're going to be doing. We're going to do a little visualization, 1, 2, 3, 4. So you can always just use copy paper if that's what you got. Okay. Some people have said they have pencils and pens. That's fine if that's all you have, but the other materials will help you be more expressive. All right, can everybody hear me okay? I feel like some people are saying they can't hear me. Okay, we'll turn up. We've got some yeses. Okay, awesome. So for those of you who are new here, I like to do prizes. That's one of my favorite things, is to do little giveaways, because I like to read the comments when you post your art in the Facebook group. You don't have to be a member of the Facebook group, but I think it's fun just because that's where after we create our art, we're going to post it into that Facebook group and we get to comment on each other, right? So we get to say positive things and support each other. Okay, so today's prize, what you're going to do is you're going to have to actually create your art and you post it in that sticker that I put up this evening. I'm going to show you a picture of it, and I have 2 of these acrylic paint sets that I'm going to send out. Okay, so I'm going to pick somebody who has really good insights for today, and I'm going to send it out to you. So very exciting. So definitely participate in that. Okay. All right. Let's see. All right. I have my Oracle deck here. Would you all like for me to pull a card for you? We'll do like a collective. Yeah, I see some yeses. Okay. I always think that's fun, right? See what comes up. I always love it when I do these. They really do match whatever the group is feeling or needing. So I think they're important. So I'm just going to go ahead and shuffle them. If you haven't seen my deck, on one side there is artwork, and then on the other side are little statements, and it's all related to the chakras. Oh, this one just fell out and I pulled it up. So I think it's this one that I'm going to read tonight. I showed it and then I put it back in and it came falling out. Okay. This is a woman holding her heart outside of her chest. Okay, it says, give love. So this is the heart chakra card. You can give love by complimenting someone, say a silent prayer, or be of service. Love is a currency. Whatever you will give will come back to you. All right. So this should be really easy because tonight we can do that for each other, right? Being able to see each other and respond to each other in the comments, especially in the when we're working together here, and then also in that Facebook group on each other's artwork, is so nurturing to feel seen and heard. Okay, so we're going to be practicing the love. I'm going to keep this one out. All right. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and start sharing my screen. You want me to show the card again? Okay, it is the heart chakra card. And let me share my screen. There we go. Oh, no, I don't want video file. Let me go to regular screen to Google Chrome. There we go. All right, does everyone see? I don't see all of you. I'm sure you're here. Do we see the day 1 screen? Yes? Okay, cool. Perfect. So this is actually what you're going to be posting your art under in the Facebook group. When you see this slide, and I posted the Zoom link today, this is where you're going to post your art. Okay, if you post it all by itself, we won't be able to see it because there's so many of us. So if you post it all on this one particular slide, we'll be able to see it and comment on it. Okay. All right. So I'm going to introduce myself. My name is Leah Guzman. I'm a board certified art therapist. I've been practicing art therapy for over 20 years. I got my master's at Florida State University, and I've had an opportunity to work with so many amazing people. I worked in the school system. I work online with women, helping them with any type of emotional issues. And I've had an opportunity to present my work. It's been in magazines such as Self, Create, and Spirituality and Health. I've had the opportunity to reach a large amount of people because I've been writing books, which has been such a thrill for me. I'm actually in the process of writing my 5th book. The books that I've written are Rad is Mad, which is the first children's book that I wrote. And following that, I wrote Essential Art Therapy Exercise book, which it's gone globally. It's been translated in 6 different languages, which is amazing. Last year, I had the Anxiety Relief Activity book published. And then before that, I had The Art of Healing and Manifesting. And right now I have another book out that's going to be for school-age children, for children and adolescents, and it's called Art as Therapy. So I can't wait to share that with you. So it's about how to build relationships so that youth can express their big emotions in a creative way. And then one of the big things that I've done was create this Creative Soul Society, which it's a membership group that I'm so fond of. I started it 4 years ago. And part of this process of creating it was several years ago when my children were little. I had my own dark night of the soul where I was just totally burned out from doing art therapy, but I also was a major people pleaser, and that mix didn't help me at all. I found myself waking up in the middle of the night, just sitting in the bathroom floor, writing my journal, just so much depression and anxiety, and I didn't know how to get out. So I actually got support from an art therapist and started doing art again. I wasn't making my own art. And from that process of doing the art for myself, practicing self-care, I realized that obviously I needed to start saying no to people, create boundaries, but really looking at what did I wanted to create for myself, but how could I also help other people in a bigger way? And this is when the book started coming, and then also when I decided to do the Creative Soul Society, because I just wanted to have a space where we can create and invite other artists, other art therapists in and learn from them as well. So just doing it on a monthly basis, it really can be, it's just really powerful work that we can do together. So yeah, I'm really proud of that group, and I really love meeting monthly. Okay, so for today, we are going to discover unconscious blocks through art journaling. So we're going to use the art journal as a way to go on a creative visualization and find out some things about ourselves, okay? So just be open to this journey, okay? And we're also going to be learning some new coping skills. So creative strategies to navigate life's ups and downs, okay? So we're actually going to be learning new coping skills for the next 5 days, okay? We're going to learn something new, and these are techniques that you could do more than one time, okay? Which is really great. Oh, let me go back for a second. Oh, hold on. Hold on one second. I'm going to stop share for a second. So before we get started, I want to just give you a little bit of techniques before I take you on the creative visualization, because I know there might be some new people here to art. And for those of you who are super expressive, you'll be able to just dive right in. But I know there are some people that are new. So I'm going to just show you a couple techniques that you can do with your art journal or with your markers or your crayons. So if you have, even if you have Crayola crayons, are totally fine. I actually have one client and she just, every session, she loves her Crayola crayons. She likes the waxiness of it. But these are oil pastels and I like the creaminess of these. So I just wanted to show you how to use, if you have crayons or markers, of how you can use them in a particular way to get more color and coverage, okay? So everything in drawing is a basic shape. For example, if I was going to create a figure, right, I could go stick figure, but just think of your drawing as shapes, okay? Because you're going to be putting yourself into these drawings. Okay, can I make my window bigger? Let me see. Am I small? Let's see. Can everyone see me okay? Okay, I'm big to everyone else. Okay, it's just you. So you're gonna just be using shapes. So we have circles, rectangles, okay? And then being able to draw, you can use the side of your markers or your crayons. That's how you can fill areas up. For example, if I wanted to do, let me hold this a little bit better. You can fill in areas just like this, okay? So this is about being expressive and then really using the materials, okay? So just even when you put your lines are expressive, however you're going to be drawing tonight. And the same thing with your markers, okay? You can fill up the space with your lines and your markers, okay? And you see how I'm using 2 pages of my journal? You don't have to use just one side. So I really encourage you to use both sides of your journal if you have one, so that you can be more expressive, okay? And thank you all for helping each other out with making your windows big. That's awesome. Okay, really basic techniques, but I just thought that would help you out when, like when we're getting started, okay? Are we ready to get started? Yes. You're like, stop talking. I'm waiting. Okay, I gotta share my screen again because I want to give you a little visual. One more time. All right. Hold on. And here we go. All right. So we're going to be doing the Don Jones assessment. And like I had mentioned, you're going to have your art journal. You can number your pages 1, 2, 3, 4, because we're actually going to be doing 4 different drawings. And in this visualization, I'm going to give you a prompt. We're going to stop, and then I'm going to give you about 5 minutes to draw your response. Okay? Sound like a plan? All right. So we'll be drawing for about 20, 25 minutes, and then you'll have a little extra time at the end. Yay, we're here. So guess what? You have a day off and you are feeling awesome. You're feeling really, really good. You're feeling relaxed. So if you're not there yet, go ahead and roll your shoulders back. Take a deep breath in. Shake it off. And if you feel comfortable, allow yourself to close your eyes so that you can actually visualize where we're going, okay? So it's your day off and you've been driving by this field of flowers that looks gorgeous. And you're like, oh my goodness, I can't wait to just walk through the field of flowers and enjoy the sunshine. So you pull over, you get out of your car, and you start on this path of beautiful flowers, and you're walking down this path, and you get to a forest. There's actually, it's tree lined, and you see that there's a gate right before you get to the forest. And you're like, oh my goodness, this looks like fun. I'll just keep going. It looks like other people have taken the path, right? So you open the gate and you continue on this path. And like I said, it's a beautiful day. The sunlight is shining in the trees, the birds are chirping. And as you're walking down the path, you start to hear water, and it sounds like a river. And you're walking down the path and you see that there's actually a really good sized river, and the water is going really fast. But you see that the path keeps going on the other side of the river. So we're going to stop here. And what I'm going to ask you to do is to do a drawing about how you continue your journey and how you continue on this path. How do you get across the river? So I'm going to go ahead and show you the directions. And I want you to draw out how you cross the river. So I am going to put some music on. If you do not like the music, you are welcome to turn down your volume. We're going to draw for about 5 minutes. And I want you to be creative, expressive, no judgment. I just want you to get to the other side. And I'm going to put some music on, and I'll look at your comments in the chat. There was a really good question in the chat that says, is this realistic or fantasy or whatever we want? Well, guess what? That's what's beautiful about art. It gets to be about what you want. You get to choose. Okay, so have fun with this. Just be expressive. That's the only rule, is no judgment, right? So you get to make your own rules in your art making. All right. Well, congratulations. If you haven't finished drawing, that's okay. I know you made it to the other side of the river, so that's why I'm saying congratulations. Whichever way that you did it, you made it. I'm positive that you made it. But we're going to continue on. If you haven't finished, that's okay. We're going to have some time at the end where I'm going to be talking and you can continue drawing and coloring in, okay? I just want to get you through the four drawing tasks. All right, so we're going to move on. Are you ready for the next step? Because it is a beautiful day and we're enjoying our journey, right? All right. So we're going to continue on the journey. We made it across the river. And in front of us is this really, really steep hill. It's almost like a mountain. And we can see the top. And we're like, you know what? This seems like a really nice trail. So we're going to go ahead and continue on. And it's one of those switchback paths. So you go from the right and you go to the left. And it's really nice. You're getting like a nice workout as you're walking up this hill and you're having a good time. But then all of a sudden, this wild animal comes out of nowhere and jumps right in front of you on your path. Guess what? I'm going to ask you to draw. How did you get past that wild animal that just jumped on the path in front of you? So I'm going to put the directions right here. And I'm going to give you 5 minutes to draw it out. However you feel is the best way to get past. So there is no judgment as we are creating. There's no right or wrong. Whichever way your first initial response to react to this animal, then draw that. And for those of you who actually don't see things as a visualization, that's okay. This is just problem solving. What would you do if a wild animal jumped in front of you? You draw that, right? That's all. Just responding to the prompt. I'm going to go for 2 more minutes.
Introducing.
All right. We'll go ahead and start to put our final touches on our drawing. And again, you can always come back to it. And for those of you who like to visualize, who are able to see visions when you close your eyes, you're welcome to do that. If not, just listen to the prompt and draw your response, because we're going to go ahead and get started on a new page. So you're welcome to, if you have your journal, you can just go to a blank page, or if you are on paper, you can flip your paper and get a blank new page. Okay. Congratulations, you made it past the wild animal. I knew you could do it. However you did it, right? But we're going to continue on this path because you see the top of this giant hill and you want to feel successful, right? We all want to feel that satisfaction of getting to the top. So you're like, I just want to go check it out. So you continue on your journey on this path, right? Going back and forth and back and forth. Whew, it is a long hike. It is getting hot and muggy. And you know what happens when it gets hot and muggy? Well, I live in Florida, so let me tell you, that is rain. Rain is coming. So you look up and you see this giant cloud that you didn't notice before, and it starts pouring. Yes, pouring rain. And you're like, oh no, I gotta get going. I gotta get, and you just decide to go to the top because you're closer to the top than you are to the bottom. So you're running up this giant hill and it starts hailing and it's lightning. And you're like, what? You get to the top and you actually see a cave. So you start running towards the cave, and in front of the cave, dun dun dun, dun, are 2 scary creatures. Yes, like scary monsters standing in front of the cave. But you have to pass them so that you can get shelter, because you need to get shelter. So I want you to draw out the scary creatures and how you pass them to get into the cave. So again, we'll spend about 5 minutes on this one. And the fun part is sharing, right? But we still have another drawing. So go ahead. Oh, Jennifer says she's having fun. Wonderful. I'm glad you're having fun. I can't wait to see what those scary creatures look like. Okay, we're gonna draw for one more minute. Lisa asks the name of this music. It's called Heart Chakra Healing Meditation. It's frequency music. I really like frequency music. Oh, and I love that it's matches my heart chakra card that I pulled. Okay, awesome. I love seeing your responses. Thanks for sharing. They're actually really funny. All right. So you made it again. I knew you could do it. Feeling successful tonight, right? Congratulations. But guess what? You are tired. That's been a long journey, right? Through the woods and scary creatures, and now you just want to wait for the rain to pass, right? So you can go home. But as you're waiting for the rain to pass, you decide to take a little nap in the cave. So you sit down. It's really dark. And you're like, this is okay. The sound of the rain is really peaceful. And you decide to just lay down and use your hands as a pillow. And as you're really relaxing into the moment, you hear something. And you realize you're not alone in the cave. And then you open your eyes and you realize that there's something there with you. So as you're resting up in the cave, I want to draw what is with you in the cave. And again, I'm going to give you 5 minutes. Zoe had a question. I'm going to go ahead and answer it. She said, do I draw what the first thing that came to my mind is? Or if I decided to not like that, what came to my mind, do I think of something else I can draw? That's what's so beautiful. You get to choose. Let it be. There's no right or wrong here. You can decide which one you want. You have the power to choose. And you're going to find that art, but also life is that same. It's a reflection of life. Art is a reflection, right? You have the power to choose. There's no right or wrong. We have about 2 more minutes on this drawing. Please let go of any judgments that might come up. All right, last minute. All right. All right, we're back. Well, that was fun. I hope you all enjoyed that. Now we're going to find out what that was all about. You ready to learn some more? Self-discovery here. Like, why did I just do all that, right? So I have a little chart that I'm going to share with you so that it explains it. But the first drawing was going on your journey, right? And having to cross the river. So when in life, we have challenges, right? Sometimes we have to do things on our own, or our first initial instinct is to do things on our own. And then sometimes we have some people that their initial instinct is to get support from people. So the first drawing, it is indicative of what your initial response of solving problems. Do you do it by yourself or do you get support? Okay, so there's no right or wrong here in any of these answers, the way you respond. It's just, oh yeah, I tend to do that, right? So it's just kind of like okay, this is how I do things. For example, when I first did this, I pulled up my pant legs and went straight into that water, right, to get to the other side. And I tend to do that with a lot of problems, challenges in my life, but I've learned there can be other ways that I can get support. It's a hard thing for me to learn, but I've learned that, oh wow, support is actually a good thing. So each of us have our own tendencies, okay? So just think about that. Did you cut down a tree and make a bridge? Did you walk a stone path? Did you put wings? I think if you put wings on, that would be independent, you going on yourself. But I think the other ones would be getting support. So If you have something that you used for support, then that's usually how you deal with challenges, okay? Now the second one, oh, someone made a rainbow. I like that. That sounds very magical. Someone else found a rock to pass. I love that. And someone else found a bridge. Beautiful. So think in your life, now that next step is relating it to life, okay? Where in your life, recent challenge, how do you deal things? Are you doing it on your own initially, or do you try to get support? Okay, so just kind of think, can you make that connection? And then I'm going to share my screen for the next one. Let's see, Zoom. Okay. So the next two drawings apply to coping skills and different ways to respond, right? So the first one was a wild animal jumped in your path, right? So this is signifying what happens when someone else has needs and they come to you. How do you respond? So this could be, maybe it's a boss or a teacher or someone that needs something from you. They get in front of you and they need something, right? How do you respond? Okay, so are you assertive? Meaning that, do you communicate with this wild animal? Did you give them something? Maybe you gave them some food, maybe you talked to them. This is actually a great way to deal with problems, right? When people come to you and their needs are. Being assertive. Now the three other ways, one is passive, meaning that did you run away from the wild animal? Did you freeze up? Not confront it at all? Or maybe you were aggressive. Maybe you shot it or yelled at it or hit it or said something mean to it. So like I said, there's no judgment here. It's just like our initial response, okay? And then there's a passive aggressive, meaning that you tried to make some contact and then you kind of ran away. So how does this relate to life? Meaning that actually I did this my first time when I was that people pleaser. I actually did this exercise and I was like, no way, this is not me. But it was. I was so passive aggressive. I would say yes to people when I really wanted to say no. And I would go and complain about it. So that was passive aggressive. So in my drawing, I actually got a stick to scare it away. I didn't actually hit it or anything, but I was trying to scare it, right? So that is actually very passive aggressive. Okay, so I'm just relating that to my life, being just letting you know how I responded to this situation. But I'm curious, so like, how about yourself? Do you find yourself doing things like saying yes when you really want to say no? Okay, there's no right or wrong, it's just an awareness. And at first when I did this, I didn't realize it, that I was doing that. And about a week later, I was like, a challenge came up and I was like, oh my goodness, the drawing was right. It was right. It really did say something about me. Okay, so this now goes to the next drawing. We're going to talk about the wild animals. I'm sorry, the wild scary creatures. Scary creatures. We came up to the cave. So the scary creatures, they could represent your parents. They could represent anybody that you need to get your needs met by somebody. You're having to go to them because you need to get into that cave, right? So you have needs. So is it hard for you to ask for what your needs are, right? That's basically what this is boiling down to. So if you're assertive, you connected with the scary creatures. I saw some people played some music. Some people gave some food, right? So if you're connecting with them in some way, that's being assertive. Maybe it was too scary to even go in the cave. I've seen people stand out in the rain because it was too scary to ask, right? So you're being passive. And then aggressive is if you yelled, hurt, shot an arrow, things along those lines, that would be aggressive. And then again, that passive aggressive would be scaring it in some way to get your needs met. Okay. So again, these are the insights. So that when we have the insights and when we share our drawings and how this relates to our life, that's what I want to know. I want you to make that connection between how you responded in your drawing and then have you been doing that in your life in some way? Okay, that's the big aha here. What's happening? All right, and lastly, I'm going to stop share here. The last drawing was all about an emotion. You're like, what? Well, what it is, whatever you drew in the cave, I want you to look at the emotional element to it. For example, some people had put something, I don't know, some a little bit like spiritual, or they felt safe, they felt cozy, like there was an element of feeling secure, right? So that might be something that you're either craving in your life or that's an energy that you have in your life, okay? Now you might have put something scary in that cave, right? Maybe there's some fear or some anxiety. Okay, so the energy, that the feeling, relate that to your life. Maybe you're holding on to some anxiety or some fear that's happening, okay? So I'm just asking you to think about what the feeling is and then how does that relate to your life in some way? Okay. Whew. Well, I can't wait to see everyone's responses. I am going to give an opportunity for a couple people to share. I know there's a lot of people on the Zoom. And some of you might not even be done with your drawings. But we are going to have an opportunity to share, and we're going to be putting them in the Facebook group. But I really do want you to start thinking about that connection to your life. But before we do that, I do want to show you a little something because we had some VIPs that have joined us, and I want to show them the portal. So I want you guys to see how this works on the in the portal. So I'm going to just share that with you. So if you haven't completed your drawing or you want to fill it in some more, I'm going to go ahead and give you that opportunity to do that. And I'm just going to share my screen again and show you what it looks like. So if you became a VIP, I want you to see what it looks like to log in because I don't want you to miss out on this opportunity that you've signed up for that you get to see. So right now, this is my website, leaguzmanstudio.com. If you got the VIP, you just log in here with your email and a password. Sometimes it'll send you a magic link and you can open it up that way. If you have any issues, you're always welcome to text me or email me. I can get you logged in. Once you're logged in, you're going to see this. This is our membership portal, okay? This is the different paths that you can take. These have organized videos. One is about the manifest the life that you desire. This one is regulate your nervous system. This is self-worth and empowerment and trauma healing, okay? So if you hit the regulate your nervous system, you actually hit that little sticker button, you're going to see there's all these different videos here. These are replays from different artists and different art therapists that have guided us in the past, okay? So you're welcome to follow this path and learn some new techniques, okay? So I wanted to show you how that works. And then also the other part that I want you to know about is our calendar and what's coming up. This is our current calendar in September. I make this one too so that you can see a visual. We're here right now. And then at the end of this 3-day, we'll have intuitive art journaling with Sarah Schroeder. And we're starting a book club next month of Women Who Run with the Wolves. And all those that you're interested in, we have the VIP, which is the 2 extra days. You get my favorite art journal, which is from Jerry's Artorama, and you get the 30-day trial of the membership, okay? In day 4, we're going to be doing more painting, and it's going to be called Symbols of Change. So we're going to look at personal symbols that are significant to you. And it might have been something that was in that cave, right? Each day that we meet, we are going to be talking about different symbolism, and we're going to see how it all kind of comes together at the end, okay? Because we all have our own visual language. In day 5, we're going to be doing more emotional landscapes, reflecting our inner world of how we're feeling. And here's the art journal that I love. And you get to try out of the membership. So what's cool about the VIP is that you don't get this bundle package if you were to just sign up for the Creative Soul Society. But the VIP, you're going to get those 2 extra days in the journal. So that's what I think is so amazing about it. And it's free for the 30 days, and you can cancel at any time if you don't feel like it's a fit for you. Okay. Oh, and you get replay access, like I just showed you the back of the membership or the membership portal. All right, so if this is something that you like, you're welcome to do it. It's leahguzmanstudio.com VIP. All right, so this is the fun part. If you're interested, you're welcome to sign up. I'll have this up for now, but I would like to invite someone up who had a really cool insight that would like to share their work. Is there someone here that's brave? Oh, we got a few. Okay. Let me stop share, and I'm gonna prick. Oh, goodness. How about Heather Saunders? Can you unmute yourself? Heather, are you able to unmute yourself? Just give me 1 minute. Maybe John can unmute you.
Oh, there we go.
Oh, fabulous.
So mine is not done at all.
Oh,
And
okay.
I'm gonna finish it, but I wanted to at least share the insight I had.
Yes, please.
I'll post it on the thing when I'm done. So
Mm-hmm.
like mine, I have the path that goes in different directions.
Mm-hmm.
So the first time so I get on my little jar with my heart inside of it,
Mm-hmm.
and then and I'm on top of it. Then the monster comes, I go inside of it with my heart to protect myself. Then when I get to the path on the other side of the river, I get out of the jar, but the heart is still with me. So then when I go and meet up with the monster again, I go inside the heart to float over it. Then when I get into the cave, I have like this more conscious nightmare of the monster, but then like the subconscious kind of like dream thought. And it says I didn't give up on myself when I needed myself most.
Oh, that's really sweet. And I love how you interpret it into one painting. I was saying go to each page, but you decided to put it all in one big vision, like big visual.
Yeah. Um, for me, fine motor, it's hard for me to do things small. I have autism and
Hmm.
a lot of fine motor issues, so having a bigger space that I could like start with one idea and slowly transform it was a lot easier for me.
Oh, I love that. That's amazing. I love that you adapted it to work for you. And that's what this is about, all about choices, right? You get to
Yeah.
choose how you respond in those situations. And like this could have been a big challenge, and but you decided to stay and say, "Hey, I'm going to make this work for me." So
Yeah, when I'm done with it later, I'll post on the thing.
beautiful.
I
Thank you.
do I do move slower, so that's why it's not done.
You can take your time and you can post it when you're.
Okay.
Thank you. Wonderful. How about Hillary Scott? Would you like to share? Oh, she's 1 second.
Hi, can you hear me?
I can hear you. I'm gonna add a spotlight so I could see you. Hi.
Hi. Um, I would I laughed a lot when we started talking about the things. So the first one that I came up with was going over the path, and I just put logs. I just kept putting logs down, and I could see water flowing over them, but it was just enough to get me over there. But what I thought was interesting, and I didn't even realize I did this. This is more third person, and then as I went on, it was more like first-ish. I don't know why I did that, but this is me with my hands on my hips, and that's the monster that has just jumped in front of me. So is that aggressive? That's considered aggressive?
Well, your hands were on your hips. Maybe
Yeah.
you were standing in a power pose,
Hmm.
which is, I don't know if that would be aggressive. Did you
Or assertive.
would be assertive. Did
Yeah.
you interact at all with it, or did it just went away because you went into your power pose?
I went into my power. Yeah, there was no interaction. There was more like just a very quick stare, like checking out type thing, and then it was a party. I don't know. This is
I
what
think
happened in my
I
head.
like that. I think that would be assertive. It's not like you like ran away and you would have interacted. I think that if it would have stayed because
Yeah.
it sounded like you were ready, you know.
Yes. And I was like, I'm not leaving. So,
That sounds good. That sounds assertive.
yeah.
Yeah.
Uh, which is quite, which is quite different from when I came to the the cave, and with these monsters on either side, I tried to slide under them so they couldn't see me and they couldn't stop me. So I don't know how I went from this to this, but I thought that was very interesting, especially when you were talking about like parents. Because I kind of feel that way now where it's easier kind of to deal with things myself and not deal with them dealing with it. Like it's almost easier for me to just like work around their emotions than it is to actually deal with them and tell them how I'm feeling. So that like kind of really resonated with me.
Beautiful. I love that you're seeing the insights. And it's just
Yeah.
it's the choice. Remember, it's like, okay, do I want to change this or is this working for me? And if it doesn't feel good, you're like, I don't like the way this relationship is working or the way I'm responding to it. I can make that change. If you want to, you can.
Yes. Yes. I found myself when I thought about doing the confrontation before we even talked about parents, I was like, no, I'll just try this and hopefully it'll work. And then the last one, when I opened my eyes, it was a gold wall. It was very warm and light, and it was a gold wall. And there was a child, like a baby toddler version of the monsters from the outside. Like it was sleeping and it had woken up or something, and it was just like looking around.
Okay. And what is the feeling that is associated with this little guy?
I feel like it was not threatened, but almost like maybe, oh, is that why they're standing right outside? Because they're trying to protect this like smaller version of themselves, maybe. And that would, I guess, make sense when you think about parents, because that's what they are supposed to do, and they're supposed to protect their kids. So, my God, this is nuts. Okay. Yeah.
Get some
Makes
insights.
sense.
Yeah, I'm expecting you.
Thank you.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for sharing. I love it. I love it
Thank
when
you.
people have some ahas. Awesome. So how about we have time for another person? How Kimberly is waving at me. I'm like, okay, Kimberly. She's like waving a flag. I'll add a spotlight. Hi, how
Hello.
are you?
Good. I was hoping because I that you would choose me. Because I'm confused about my last one.
Okay.
Um, my drawings are very rudimentary.
It's okay. There's no
But
judgment here.
so my first one crossing the river is I actually ended up finding a tree that was down and I started with it upriver so that it by the time it floated past the path on the other side, I was able to jump off.
Okay. And do you find that you, is it easy for you to find support? Like you go to getting support?
It was more resourcefulness on how can I do it by myself and not
Oh,
have
okay.
to rely on others and use the resources I have around me,
Okay.
which makes sense to me because that tends to be what I do is I think on my feet when I get a problem. And sometimes it's, you know, I speak before um, I speak before I actually know if it's actually gonna work, but I always find a way to make it work. So I can adjust on the fly.
Love it. Okay.
And then when it came to my bear, or I found a bear walking up the path,
Mhm.
and it was more staying calm and just giving it a chance to understand why I was there and to know that I wasn't threatening before it felt comfortable enough to let me pass.
Okay. So it was just kind of like a gentle exchange.
Finding that mutual understanding.
Okay.
And then when I got to the scary creatures in the cave, this one like hit me the most out of all of them, I think, which the creatures that I found were the first things that came to my mind were doubt and negativity. Those were my creatures. It was the self-doubt and self-negativity, which I find to crowd my mind,
Mhm.
but I needed to remind myself that to overcome it, I needed to believe in myself.
Yeah. Do you find it hard to ask for your needs? Do you feel like you're worthy of them?
I don't ask for it. I don't actually speak out the things that are bothering me and the things that I need help with because I want to be able to prove myself.
Okay. So that might be something that we could, not that is wrong with that, but if you
Mhm.
want to make a change, that's an option that you can.
That's been my journey is trying to believe in myself and increase my confidence. And so that's been a very long journey of me trying to trust myself. Um, I actually did a Mrs. Connecticut pageant to try and increase my self-confidence last year. So like it was totally going outside of that confidence and to try and build that confidence and going outside of my comfort zone.
Mhm.
So
Beautiful.
it's been a very long journey of trying to work through it. But the fact that that was the image, it wasn't actual physical monsters, it was my own inner demons
Yeah.
came up. But the one that kind of confused me the most, because I didn't know how to like connect with it with emotions,
Mhm.
was what was in the cave with me. And I saw, so that's me, and then that's a child.
Wow.
That's it.
It looks like you as like a little person. You're wearing the exact
So
same dress, same hairstyle.
it did, except it has blue eyes. And that's what threw me off is that I didn't even, it was an unconscious thing that I did blue eyes on that person, the
Everyone's
little,
right.
child,
Inner
where
child.
I have naturally brown eyes.
That's okay. So maybe the little you was in there. What is the feeling with little you? How do you feel about little you? Little Kimberly.
Mm, it's always been a difficult, like it's been a difficult thing to be able to be happy with.
Did you want blue
And,
eyes when you were little? I'm just curious.
um, I grew up in a nuclear family, but I was definitely more of a cast aside. And it was funny because right before tonight started, my son actually interviewed me, because he's doing for his civics class. He had to interview someone to see what was happening in their lives and where they were at for 9/11. And so
Mm,
we actually went back. So I was 17 years old and I actually went back and I talked to him about the things that happened in my life at that time. So I thought I'm like, maybe it connected that way because I was stuck in this childlike mindset.
yeah, most
But
definitely. And I think that just getting in touch with the little you is important. And how did she feel? And like you said, you just went back and had a conversation with your son of like a little, like a younger version of yourself. But each, even like elementary age or middle school age or high school age, there's these different versions of ourselves. And it's important to get back into that emotion of like, how did you feel about you? And that's really healing for your self-worth. And just nurturing her and letting her speak up and ask for needs and play with her and build that relationship. I think that would be important.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Well, thank you for sharing. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Awesome. So I know there's a lot of you on here, and I had a lot of questions about how long are you staying on? And I usually will meet for like an hour to about an hour and 20. That's usually how long I stay. So I would love for you all to post your insights, post your art in the Facebook group, if you're in the Facebook group, but post it in that one photo that I had shared with you earlier. It says day one, so that we all can nurture each other. Okay, because that's how it works, right? In community, we want to be able to feel seen and feel heard. So definitely post like what came up, like the connections, and you're like, that's a really fun to find out about everyone. But I really want to thank you for showing up for yourself. Each night, we're going to be doing some new exercises that you're going to learn a little bit more about yourself, and nurturing your creativity, and self-discovery. If there are any other questions, you're always welcome to. I'll stay on for a little bit longer so that I can answer some questions in the chat. But I do want to thank my son, who's not here, but he has been helping with the VIP packages. So just let you know that if you've ordered a VIP, he's been on it every day, sending them out. So he's really awesome. And I also want to thank John, who's here doing the tech support. He's been answering a lot of questions, but we're here for each other, right? Thank you for showing up for yourself, but also for showing up for each other, because I saw you already sharing the love, answering questions, and supporting each other.
Thank you. It's been an experience.
You're welcome. I'm so happy that you are here, and I'll put up the slide for the VIP, and I'll start answering some questions in case anybody else wanted to join us for those other days. Oops. And it might take me a moment to actually go through the chat, because I'm going to come here and look. There's a lot of people putting parts of the puzzle, right? Part of the drawing pieces, but I think it's cool to see how they all go together. Gillian asks, what if you sing to it? Well, I think that's engagement, right? I think that if you sing to it, talk to it, respond to it in a positive way, that's assertive. So I think that's a really great way to deal with, challenges or people that have needs that need to be met, right? And even your own needs. And Bethany asked if she flew over it. I would say that would be avoidance, because you didn't directly engage. So that would be avoidance. So just think about in your life, where are you avoiding challenges or certain people? And it's not right or wrong. It's just maybe you can try something different next time. So Erica writes, so trying to be kind to isn't people pleasing? I guess it matters with the context of the situation of what's happening. It's important to be kind, but it's also important to know what your needs are. Alexis asks, what does it mean if you befriended it? Well, again, that's being assertive engagement. So I'm just going through the chat. If there's any more, I feel like there's a ton of content here to read. So Danielle asks, what is sneaking between them? Yeah, that's the same. We had someone that came up and like went underneath, right? That's avoidance, right? If you're sneaking by, hiding, that means you're not engaging with them. So think about who in your life are you scared to talk to, that, maybe you're walking on eggshells around them. You don't want to get, you're not comfortable speaking for your needs around them. And Jane said she just walked on by. Well, I guess it wasn't a problem. There was no challenge. What does it mean if you drew something scary but did not draw yourself as fearful? I'm thinking, Nicole, that's you're referring back to the cave. I think it is whatever's in the cave and your association to it. What are your feelings? Even though if you didn't draw it scary, what is the actual feeling for you? All right, everyone. I hope you had a really, really good time. I'm going to go ahead and close up. Again, if you can't make it one day, the replays will be on my YouTube. I hope that you can make it, and I can't wait to see your artwork and your insights. Okay. Have a beautiful, beautiful evening. Bye.